Welcome to the Players Code podcast. I'm your host, Caleb, here with my illegal friend, Miguel Bravo.
Players Code.
Wow, you had a chance to make it right, and you just
You had a
fucking...
chance to make it right the first time.
Yeah, exactly. You, motherfucker, got the most electrifying
You know what? I'm under a
Players
lot of
Code
stress.
chant in the history
Okay.
of electrifying Players Code chants ever made.
You just cut an awesome heel promo right there. Anyway, and our other guest, you wanted him back, Brad.
What's up? I'm Brad.
So this is the
Brad,
Players
a
Code
lot more
podcast.
exciting than the last one.
Yeah, Brad actually, Brad's feeling it. He's awake. He's ready to go. He's humped some doorknobs and hopped some movies. So we're ready to go. I think this is going to be better than the one we lost. Speaking of, I guess I have to tell the story. So we recorded about 45 minutes of a podcast, this podcast to be specific. And turns out I was using the wrong audio input. I was using the built-in microphone on my computer, which picks up, all the sound in the background, instead of the beautiful snowball microphone I am currently using now. So, we dumped that shit because we're professional and we're high class, and we wanted good audio. So pro
Certain
that
people want to make us record even more when we're already going to be done in the next 20 minutes.
you know what, Mike? I have a feeling maybe 30 minutes won't just be 30 minutes because, we'll be so entrenched in conversation. And maybe if you pulled the fucking Debbie Downer stick out of your ass, we wouldn't have this problem.
Bradley,
Goddamn.
can you believe this guy?
Anyway,
This guy.
this show is different from our Players Code Talks series in that this is just kind of random, generalized bullshit. We will not be talking about the same bullshit we talked on the Lost episode, so you're SOL. Maybe we'll sprinkle it in, but I don't feel like rehashing the same bullshit. But yeah, this is just kind of our personal journal, a look into the hearts, the minds, the lives of everybody involved in the Players Code, except one of the founding members isn't even here. So there's that.
The guy who came up with the name, to be exact.
I know, exactly. God damn. So yeah, I'm sitting here in my apartment. Mike and Brad are chilling in Mike's mansion, I think.
Yeah,
And,
we're living up the life. We have our seals. They're doing dances for us. It's awesome.
Mike's got bitches and hoes and boats and bottles of Don Pierre. No, Santana X. My bad. Santana DX. MX? What's the song? Mike, remind me.
Suck it?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. No. Not doing that. But yeah, so I have egg on my face because I had the wrong audio going. And yeah, we were actually in the midst of a television conversation. Brad was sharing his thoughts on Breaking Bad. Brad, you said that we were just talking about how binge watching was the best way to watch stuff. Care to continue to elaborate on that?
Yeah, binge watching. So when I was binge watching Breaking Bad, I didn't start watching Breaking Bad until the 4th season had already come out, or the 5th season, I can't remember. So I had all of them on disc pretty much. So I just came home from school every day pretty much and watched episodes on episodes of Breaking Bad. Sometimes I'd watch a whole season in a night. And Breaking Bad was pretty much my life for a good while. I don't even know how long. But it consumed my life for quite some time.
Well, that's the thing. When you don't have to wait, and it consumed all of our lives, to be honest. I mean, it was something we all watched religiously. But when
Yeah.
you don't have that loss
it every
of
day.
knowledge from week to week, I think you get so much more out of the show. I binge watched the first 3 seasons of Sons of Anarchy, and when I first started watching it, and it's just you notice more things. I think you understand the show a little bit better than when you have to wait that week or 2 weeks to kind
I
of
totally agree.
get more content. And then Mike,
'Cause
you had
when you binge
brought up,
watch
oh, go ahead, Brad.
the last episode that you just watched, maybe there's hints or clues in it. Those are fresh in your mind right there.
Exactly.
And, you're talking about Sons of Anarchy. I've only seen the first season of that. I have the second and third on disc. I just haven't had time to watch them yet.
That show
But
is
I
so
li-
good.
I
man.
enjoyed the first one.
Yeah, and the thing, I always tell people about Sons of Anarchy is the first season, and I guess the second season a little bit. Those first two seasons are drastically different from where the show ends up. It gets very different down the line, but it's still a fantastic show, and those characters that you loved in the first season, are still great characters throughout the whole series. So, but yeah, no, definitely get on that Sons of Anarchy train.
I will.
It's too good. Mike, you were bringing up Game of Thrones. We have 4 seasons of Game of Thrones currently. 5 is starting in April, I believe.
All right. How many episodes are there per season?
Usually about
It's
12.
10, right?
I want to say 12 because episode 10 is usually when like the big shit happens. But then the seasons usually carry on for about another episode or 2, I think.
I feel like it's episode 9, all the big shit happens, and then 10 is when
I could be wrong.
It pretty much prepares you.
I have been wrong before.
I'm gonna go and say that there's 10. Now, each episode is an hour long, no commercials, straight solid hour thanks to HBO.
It's about 52 minutes.
Right. I sat through a good 40 hours of that show back to back, not going to sleep until 3 in the morning, waking up, watching it until 3 in the morning the next day. That show is fucking amazing.
And you were a big kind of, I don't want to watch it type of guy to start with.
My reasoning behind that, and my reasoning behind every show like that, is if it's season 1 and you try to get me to watch an hour-long per episode show, I'm totally down. If it's season 4, then I'm going to be a little, that's why I'm a little about Sons of Anarchy. It all depends on where the show is for me. Otherwise, it is a while for me to get into it. Also, I didn't have HBO, so the only way I was going to be able to watch it was through torrenting it and then watching it on my laptop or getting a USB drive and plugging it into my TV. And I just didn't want to go through all that trouble. My grandma happened to get HBO Go. Everything kind of lined itself up. I fell in love.
That's funny.
No,
That's
it's understandable.
That's how I got a Full Metal Alchemist.
No.
Pretty much all of those.
Brad, are you an anime fan?
I got into anime for a little bit. I liked Naruto for a long time. I liked Death Note, Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood, and the normal.
Okay.
And I didn't really like Inuyasha and One Piece, though.
Yeah, One
were
Piece and
kinda-
Inuyasha never really struck a chord with me. Loved Death Note. I think my favorite anime, I think, still is Soul Eater.
I've never heard of that.
Really good. It's on Netflix, or at least it was. Netflix has kind of opened the anime door for me, really. So I watched Soul Eater, Alchemist Brotherhood, Death Notes. I just finished up Psycho Pass, which is also really good. It's kind of nice. It's nice to kind of indulge in my guilty pleasure of Japanese cartoons with the ease of Netflix. This broadcast brought to you by Netflix.
Netflix, by the way, something that Bradley definitely needs to get, since I'm hearing you're watching all these shows on disc. All these shows like Breaking Bad, the entire series is on Netflix. Sons of Anarchy, all the way up until its current season right now. That's the only one they don't have on Netflix. You really need to get that, buddy.
I have Netflix. I just can't watch it because my internet has a download limit.
Right.
The gayest shit in the world.
You live out in the boonies and you
Yep.
have the worst
God.
internet. I mean, we're in an awesome mansion. We have the greatest internet in the world.
Yeah.
I've got
mansion
4
over
gigs
here.
down. Speaking of internet, I guess we'll roll into that. It's not. I don't think a lot of people, nobody really knows. If anybody's listened to, we might have mentioned it on PC Talks. I can't remember, but I used to have the shits when it came to internet. It was just 5 megabits down, running like 10 to 12 devices. It was terrible. It was horrible, and I always kind of I tried to get Comcast in here because they have a stranglehold on my area, and they gave me a fucking water-damaged modem. So the goddamn thing wouldn't work. So I told them, take it away, go fuck yourselves. This is right around the same time all those customer service people were recording their phone calls with Comcast and showing just how bad their customer service is. So it's like, no, out of principle, I will not have Comcast, even though they're the only company that can give me fast speeds. I refuse to do a deal with the devil. And then I tried downloading Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Oh, man.
It took me... I started downloading that game on the Sunday before it came out. It wasn't fully done downloading until I think that next Friday.
Jesus.
So, I shook hands and made a deal with the devil. I sold my soul for 50 megabytes down and like 13 up. And I now have fantastic internet. I can now stream to Twitch, which excites the ever-living shit out of me. Speaking of, we have a Twitch. Twitch.tv/playerscode. The P and the C are capitalized. Go follow us if you guys want to check us out when we do Twitch streams. Might do some, if we can get into some games, maybe do some Halo Master Chef Collection tonight. Just to test that out.
Probably not.
Why not? Well, because we probably won't get in the game, but I'd like to at least test out the Twitch streaming.
Yeah, no, I'm down. I mean,
cool.
I need to test it out for myself as well.
So, but yeah, we have that. So that's cool. As we said in the other podcast, it's Lost. Kyle's been streaming The Evil Within, and some of that went up on the channel. Yeah, no, and the channel's doing well. Speaking of things, we didn't really talk about it at the beginning of this podcast, this recovered podcast. We're over 500 subscribers, and we're over 20 subs. Hey, we're a young channel, Mike. PewDiePie didn't start making his money till last year. I mean,
Caleb,
fuck
you
PewDiePie.
just said we're up 500 subscribers.
No, we're over 500 subs. Well, 500. Shut up.
Views,
yeah.
Views.
That's a lot of views, man.
I know. No, it is a good
Don't
amount of views.
patronize my accomplishments.
Subscribers would have been better.
Yeah.
But we don't have 500 subscribers. We have 500 views and 20 subscribers.
We have a very loyal, dedicated fan base that doesn't comment or like any of our videos.
Yeah.
Dedicated and loyal.
They truly do give a lot of feedback. They help us grow as a channel.
God damn. I know, man. Thank you guys. All of you out there. So yeah, no, channel's going well. We're doing Mike, this actually pertains to gaming news. There were screenshots leaked of the Game of Thrones Telltale game.
Well, it's supposed to be coming out before the end of the year.
That's true. There were screenshots leaked of, and they're all modeled after people from the show, so that's kind of interesting. Because with Walking Dead, they kind of stepped away from the show. It seems like Game of Thrones are kind of embracing it.
Well, I mean, where can you really go with the Telltale game that is Game of Thrones? There is really no side characters because that's the beauty of Game of Thrones. Every fucking character, including side characters, is usually addressed.
True, I just meant like in likeness. Like in Walking Dead, Herschel from the show looked very different from Herschel in the game. I just kind of found it a little interesting, but they had a screenshot of, let's see, Cersei, Tyrion, Ramsay Bolton / Snow. There was another pretty prominent
That guy, by the
character.
way, fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, dude, Ramsay Snow / Bolton's a fucking psychopath. Marjorie Tyrell. And there's a shot of a character I didn't really recognize. It might be one of the Foresters, because basically that's the plot of the game. The game starts up towards the end of the third season, or the beginning of the third season. No, end of the third season, and ends right before the fifth season. And it tells the story of the family Foresters, who have appeared in the fifth book, I believe, of the series. So I'm very excited just because I love the Telltale games, and I'm excited to get my hands on Game of Thrones Telltale games.
Have you heard the details on like the game and how it'll play out?
Yeah, it's gonna be 5 different main characters.
Yeah, and decisions that you make affect your entire house,
which is awesome. I think that gives it way more replayability than the other Telltale games, because it's, the other Telltale games, it's like, I have these 2 decisions. Well, they could totally change the outcome, but then it's like, I have these 2 decisions, and how are these going to affect the decisions that this other character is going to make down the road? And then how are, did this decision shut off a different chain of decisions? Will there be a different decision to make if I made a different decision? I'm talking in circles now because I'm getting really excited. But that's exactly how I think, I think that's how that's going to be, and I'm really, really excited for that.
Brett, I don't believe you've experienced a Telltale game, have you?
No, I haven't.
Oh. Well, Brad, if you're too lazy to play, the Players Code channel has a plethora of Walking Dead videos to view.
Even Wolf Among Us, correct?
And comment.
And Wolf Among Us, too, right?
And Wolf Among Us, yes. We also did Wolf Among Us. Well, when I say we, I mean I. But, yes.
So Brad, I know that the reason you haven't played any of the Telltale games is because they're pretty much the Walking Dead ones. And then you haven't watched the show, The Walking Dead. I mean, you never really got into it. So, of course, you wouldn't really see the point in playing the game. However, another Telltale game is The Wolf Among Us. That, I haven't played past the first episode. Caleb and Kyle have, however, and they fucking love it. So I recommend it. Based off of the first episode, it was really awesome.
It's based off of a graphic novel series called Fables.
Yeah, comic book series called Fables.
And you basically play a bunch of the fairy tale characters from fairy tales have been driven into this like area of New York, and it's really gritty and really realistic. Kind of. I mean, they're still fairy tale fucking creatures, but it's very gritty and very dark. And basically, you play the big bad wolf, who's kind of the sheriff of all of these fairy tale creatures, and you end up having to solve murders and mystery and political intrigue, and it is a fantastic game. The characters are awesome. The voice acting is phenomenal. It's just an overall fun game to play. And with like all Telltale games, I always end up getting emotionally invested, and it just makes the games more fun to play. God, episode 5 of Walking Dead season 2, man, that was tough.
Dad, calm down. I haven't played it.
It was tough. There were tears.
Episode 5 of season 1 got me to cry. They really pull you in, get you invested with these characters, and Walking Dead specifically, it's obviously a zombie apocalypse, so people can die, not always through a zombie, sometimes through just other people, and it when that happens, it catches you off guard, and it really makes you think. The first episode, from what I've learned, is generally like 2 hours long.
Yeah,
Caleb?
They're usually about an hour and a half. Most I think all the episodes are about an hour and a half. Hour 45.
Episodes after that, like an hour and a half. But the first episode, I feel like, is a strong 2 hours. Damn. You can, of course, take breaks in between them. There are checkpoints that the game leaves you off at in case you don't want to sit through that, I guess, binge watching.
Yeah.
And that's another interesting thing about the games is they release episodically. And so like you end one episode and here you are like, now I got to wait months for this continue this story. This is what's going to happen next? My God, why game? Why?
So I take it that the video game doesn't follow the story of the TV show.
No, they're separate
Sometimes
from the comics.
Like with The Walking Dead, you have crossover characters and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but for the most part,
and actually, there's only a couple crossover characters.
Yeah, with The Walking Dead. Apart from that, it's their own story.
Okay.
Yeah, completely separate from the comics and the television show. So it's its own. It's just set in the universe, which I like. I like that a lot. I think it's very fresh, and it keeps that way you're not rehashing shit you've already seen if you are a fan of the show. It's nice. I like that they do that, and they pulled it off. A lot of times people try that and it just doesn't connect, but they did a really good job of connecting everything together. But yeah, no. So I highly recommend any Telltale game. Wolf Among Us, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, or they're doing a Tales from the Borderlands one as well. So if you're a Borderlands fan.
Yeah, I actually saw a preview of that on YouTube.
So yeah,
Brad actually is a huge Borderlands fan, so that may be your first Telltale game that you play.
Yeah, probably.
There you go. That would be, people are that one. I think that they're even talking about doing it a little differently, the way they're handling the combat and the kind of the humor and the dialogue and the choices and stuff. It's gonna be a little different than the other ones, but obviously it'll still have the same Telltale game feel. So.
Right. Well, also that's another thing is Telltale games, they aren't exactly action based. Like there is these action scenes, but everything's more like a quick time event.
Yeah.
It's like one big quick time event, and not a lot of people don't really like games like that, but I feel that it's good because the story is good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But from what I saw on the trailer, they're making like a YouTube TV show of Borderlands. It's not going to be a game. It's going to be like episodes of Borderlands.
Interesting.
That'd be cool. That's kind of an interesting way to do it. Kind of like a documentary style thing where it's like, we're out here in this part of Pandora or whatever planet they're on, and we're following this group around today. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of new characters and familiar ones too. Mm-hmm. But it looked pretty good. So
did you play the pre-sequel then, Brad?
No, I'm gonna get it soon though.
Okay.
I really want to.
Because a lot of people said it was actually a pretty good game.
Brad is the only one of us who has yet to move on to
the next gen?
The next gen of gaming.
The current gen.
I still have PS3.
Yeah, my bad. The current gen. He is still living in the past.
Well, for one, I'm sorry that you play PlayStation. Thumb Dutcher. And two, I am very sorry that you haven't moved into the current generation. Hopefully you can join us soon. Not to say that it's it's great up here and that it's all just happy rainbows and sunshine, but goddamn, do things look pretty at least.
Yeah. Bradley, the Xbox One, currently the cheapest game out in the market right now.
I'm not getting an Xbox
One.
One.
Nudge, wink, wink.
It is true. It is true. They dropped to $50 in the bundles you can get. You'd be stupid not to buy one.
Bradley, you can get Black Flag and Assassin's Creed Unity for only $350.
You want to buy the Xbox One. You want to kill the Prime Minister of Malaysia.
So apart from trying to get Bradley to join a cult.
Yeah,
Shit, I had it and then I lost it. Caleb, take it away.
Getting an iPhone 6 soon.
Really?
Yeah, it was my birthday present from me father. So it's ordered. The order has been processed, and it should hopefully ship tomorrow. But they say it takes like 7 to 14 days to actually ship the fucking thing. So it could be a little while before it gets here. But I will be excited once it actually does get here because, I love new technology. And I use my iPhone all the fucking time, so.
Right.
What kind of phone you rocking nowadays, Mike?
What kind of what?
What kind of phone you got nowadays, buddy?
I have a piece of shit LG.
That's right. Mike lost his access to the Apple cult and had to give away his iPhone.
Yeah, my Verizon membership started costing a little too much, so I was booted into the T-Mobile piece of shit swamplands.
I find that I'm quite the opposite cults of you guys. You guys are Apple and Xbox. I'm PlayStation and Android.
Get off the fucking podcast. What the hell do you bring him on here for? Jesus fucking Christ. God damn.
We have
man.
diversity, Caleb. We have diversity.
Diversity, my ass. God damn it.
Sometimes
Anyway.
you got to see the other side of the coin, Caleb.
I know.
The darker side.
Exactly. They're the ones with cookies.
Yep.
But no, I
They-
mean,
they usually lie about.
I'm
those.
just getting the 6. I'm not getting the 6 plus, so I don't have to worry about the bending problem. Which I think is funny as fuck that people's phones are bending in their pockets. Like, how tight are your fucking pants, man? Like, these fucking hippie emo hipsters can't get a fucking job, but can afford iPhone 6 pluses to wear their skinny jeans to bend them. It's like, fucking Christ, man. Sorry, that was a rant. I apologize to any emo fucking hippie hipsters.
You have a problem with skinny jeans there, Caleb?
Yeah, I'm a fat guy. I don't get to wear skinny jeans.
Well, I mean, technically you can. It just, please don't.
Like, I would ask that you not fantasize about me in skinny jeans while we're on the podcast. It's kind of creepy, and I don't think Brad appreciates you thinking about other men while he's there.
You know,
Yeah, please. Only me.
Exactly.
you know who does not belong in tight pants?
Who?
Fucking Dave Batista.
Oh, God. Mike, we can't talk about wrestling on this show. We're not allowed to do it.
Oh, okay. Technically, this isn't wrestling talk, since now the guy is a movie star.
I fucking love loopholes. But yeah, no, so fucking... Which, funny enough, he was actually on a podcast saying that those weren't even skinny jeans. He was wearing normal jeans the night he ripped his pants.
That poor man.
I know. He's just so swole that, he needs the extra titanium reinforcement of skinny jeans to hold everything in. Then there was the one night he came out looking like a fucking Saints Row character. That was awesome. He rolled out like a purple jersey with a purple undershirt. And that stupid fucking hat. Oh, Dave, we love you. If you're listening, and we know you are. We love you, Dave Batista. Batista.
Blue?
Do you not remember when he came out in the all blue at fucking, what was it, Payback?
No.
Yeah,
Oh.
he had the blue trunks with the blue elbow pads, the blue knee pads, the blue boots. Well, Triple H and Orton were dressed in black.
Oh, man.
All right,
All right.
enough. This is the wrong podcast. Brad's slowly killing himself with the fucking controller cord.
Yep.
Brad, don't do it.
Brad, I got a
Don't
question.
jump.
I got a question. Why do you hate professional wrestling?
I just never got into it, and I thought it was gay, honestly.
That hurts my feelings. As a gay man
I know.
and a
Mike,
fan of professional wrestling.
Paco gave me the eye when I said that.
Ah, right. The nickname that is not known
Oh.
throughout them.
Oh.
That's funny.
Podcast
All right,
exclusive.
so when I first moved back to Washington, I was in the 6th grade. There was this ginger-haired boy when I first walked into school. He walked up to me and he's like, "Can I call you blah blah blah?" I'm like, "No." "Can I call you blah blah blah?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Can I call you Paco?" And I was like, "No." But apparently, no wasn't enough. So from 6th grade forward to about my sophomore year, when I stopped hanging around the people who called me that, and when I moved into a school that knew nothing of the origins of Paco, I finally ditched the nickname. But from fucking 6th grade to my sophomore year, I was known as Paco. There was actually this one time I was in my science class. It was 8th grade. Now, I had been going to this school for 2 years by this point, and the teacher looks at a student who I have talked to a few times throughout my life in the last 2 years. The teacher's like, "Go sit next to Michael." The kid looks the teacher dead in the eyes and says, "Who's Michael?" And then the fucking classroom is like, "Paco!" And they're like, and the kid's like, "Oh shit."
Man. Mike, you sounded like you wanted to like lay down on the couch there for a second and have me take notes. Like, do you want to tell me how that made you feel? I mean,
made me feel like a damn dirty man who lives in a very racist world.
Is it bad that I did that to somebody in high school?
Oh God,
Like,
Caleb, yes, it's terrible.
My buddy Ryan, he shows up when we're in PE, and my buddy comes over. He goes, "This is Ryan." I go, "He doesn't look like a Ryan." He goes, "You're right. He looks like a Pablo. We're gonna call you Pablo." He goes, "All right." And his name to this day, to me, is still Pablo. His girlfriend, when we're around him, he still calls him Pablo for me. So I did that. Kid's Filipino, not Mexican at all. But
well, actually, Filipinos are more of the Asian Mexicans.
Okay, so I mean, it's a little more fitting. I'm not sure why you were so upset when he called you Paco. That's the name you had on your before they changed it, right?
You're a dick.
Nah, I love you, buddy. But yeah, no. So I
another
did that.
fun story about the nickname. There was this girl. It was 8th grade. I had a crush on her. She knew me as Paco. Now, I wanted this girl, because I liked her, to not know me as Paco, but as Michael. So I looked at her and I was like, my name is not Paco. It's now, while I am saying Paco, I'm getting ready to say Michael, but Paco is also on the mind. So out comes my name is Maiko.
Paco.
So from that day forward, whenever she'd see me, she'd call me Maiko. That, by the way, Bradley, was Amy.
I know.
That's amazing.
Every time I talk about you around her, she's like, "You mean Maiko?"
That's
Yes.
incredible. That's magic.
I actually, when I was in drama, we were allowed, we got these sweaters, and we were able to put like whatever nickname we wanted on the back of it, and for her I put Maiko. So yeah, that was a thing.
Jesus Christ! All right, that was weird. It was just I put on a, and then just dead silence for about 5 seconds.
Well, Caleb, that's usually what happens when you don't respond back.
Well, I was waiting for you to keep talking, jackass.
About my over story?
Yeah.
Shut up, Maiko.
Fuck you.
Paco's better.
Paco is better. I like Paco
I still
a lot
call him
better.
Paco.
Brad actually got his mom to start calling me Paco, and she only knew me as Paco.
Brad, that's amazing. That's the thing. It's just like friends are such assholes in such amazing ways, aren't they? It's just we take these little things, it's the littlest things that really don't bother you that much in the moment, but when it keeps coming back and keeps coming back, it's incredible.
Yeah, like the time when we were all calling you Andre.
Fuck you. Oh
Explain
God,
that.
I
I don't
hate
think
that.
I've heard this story.
It's not that much of a story. It's just we all enjoy watching The League, the show The League, and it's actually what inspired us to start our fantasy football league. But there's this character on the show that I cannot fucking stand. He's just the douchiest fucking character. Nothing, I mean, I'm a dick, but I don't think anything like this guy at all. But they call me they call me the Andre of the group just to piss me off. Not because I'm like Andre in any way, only because I hate him so fucking much, and it eats at me. But it doesn't get to me anymore. I put it behind me. It doesn't bother me anymore. I'm okay.
That's what you want them to think.
Shut up, Brad. Don't ruin my plans.
There was also this other thing that would drive him crazy, and it's in wrestling. There's this tag team of brothers called the Usos. Now there is an announcer who, whenever they do something crazy, this announcer is like, "Uso crazy."
Oh my God.
My fucking thoughts exactly.
I talk to Caleb. I'd be like, "Oh, Caleb, Uso crazy."
I fucking hate it. You know, every
That's
end
fucking
of,
awesome.
it's fucking terrible, man. It's atrocious. every end of the month we have a pay-per-view, and Mike and I watch it, you know, at the same time, and it's such a joy to have Mike to talk to. Kyle's usually here as well, because I don't have to listen to the fucking announcers talk. It's drowned out by Mike and Kyle. And I'm okay. Kyle's making fun of it the whole fucking time. I'm perfectly okay with that because I don't have to listen to the garbage that spews out of their mouths. But no, it doesn't bother me any. Doesn't bother me at all.
What I always seem to love is whenever Kyle watches the pay-per-views with us, he'll come in, he'll make fun of it, he'll give it shit, but that man has the most questions out of anybody watching it.
Oh yeah,
he does have a genuine curiosity about it.
Yeah,
but he would never sit down and watch it on his own.
It's like we're slowly turning him from the inside out. It's gonna be a long process, years probably. But the thing is, one day he'll be like, somebody will be talking in a bar about professional wrestling, and he'll chime in knowing something, and then he's gonna think inside his own head, what have they done to me? And I will have this, and I will just be sitting like somewhere in the back corner of the bar, just like twiddling my fingers.
Laughing maniacally.
Hey, Caleb.
Hell yeah. Yes, Mike. Myko.
I have a fun fact. You want to know it?
FF, fun fact, hit me.
Beginning of our fantasy football league, I named my team the Uso Crazies.
That you did. Really? You did it just to make me angry. But the problem is no one else got the joke, so Mike pulled the eject cord really quickly.
Yeah, they are now the MC Griddles.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Which is, again, an inside joke from a party we had a few months ago. Our lives are just one big inside jokes, folks.
There was this cat. He was walking around. And,
his name is Lucius.
We all looked at that cat. We looked at this cat apparently now named Lucius, and I named it MC Griddle.
It was actually because we want McGriddles or something like that, like we were hungry for McGriddles.
I think we were talking about McGriddles, and then
somehow we're like,
and he's like,
yeah, they need a DJ. He'll be MC Griddles, and then the cat walks by, and Mike goes, "That's MC Griddles," and that's how the name was born.
The cat is a DJ. He's a cat by day. DJ MC Griddles by night.
Cat by day. DJ Crime Fighter by night. He is MC Griddles. Coming this fall to a theater near you.
Yeah.
Starring Rob Schneider.
Just imagine a cat meme.
Coming this fall to theaters near you. And then at the end of that you hear like a sound. The sizzling of the griddle on the pan.
He's going to drop the bass on you.
On crime.
On crime, yes, thank you. Meow.
Caleb, please take that audio track and put that at the beginning of one of our videos.
Totally. I'm gonna grab that one. I'm gonna grab that shit right there. Fucking MC Griddle's dubstep. God damn. No,
So,
you know, guys,
so
I'm glad we decided to not only record a podcast tonight, but reshoot the podcast we lost. We're about the 40-minute mark. Do you guys want to keep going, or do you guys want to call it?
I'd say it's pretty good.
I think so too. We got in some good material, and we didn't really drag too much on video games or anything like we kind of did in the other one, even though it was informative. So I think that's what we're going to call it here, folks. Thank you very much for listening. If you want to check out the stuff we do, YouTube, search Players Code. We're the big red box with the P and the C. We have a Twitter, at Players Co. Podcasts. The Twitter was actually made when the podcast was started about 2.5 years ago. We also have a Facebook, www.facebook.com/playerscode. I already mentioned the Twitch, but I'll mention it again, twitch.tv/playerscode. Go follow, like, tweet, twatter, Twitter, tumble us. We might have a LinkedIn, I'm not sure. just find us on the internet and like our shit and make us famous, please. Gentlemen, any final words?
I don't know. MC Griddles.
Fucking MC Griddles for life.
All right, here is the closing that I feel this deserves.
I'm gonna have to fucking lower that audio so goddamn much.